You've come to fight as free men. Free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? No, we will run. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. But they'll never take our freedom. But they'll never take our freedom.
We in a spiritual war, enemy on the attack. This is the front line, brother, most ain't making it back. We know the enemy around us, but ain't know where he's at. One thing that we know is they program to infect into heart of man, a soul of fear in his flesh. Author of confusion, often offer you illusions. Some have went up off the deep and even offered up their offspring to him. I'm just searching for the lost. If you hear me, grab your sword.
Hello, everyone. This is Pops. Alrighty. So, I'll wait for a couple of people to get in here before we start going into stuff. This show today, you've seen the topic. And so last night, I was sitting down and I'm on different channels and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And I see Trojan civilian. My brain ain't working yet. Hold on. Let me get everything situated on YouTube. Hold on. Oh, all right. Yeah, I was sleeping a little bit. Took a nap. Woke up, and So anyway, I'm sitting in my house last night. I'm going. I'm just digging around, and I see this Trojan horse civilian system, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" So I watched this video on it, and then I started looking into it. So I found paperwork on the internet about this shit. So what it is I'm going to show you. Hold on. I actually loaded the PDF file of this thing. This thing is crazy. This is what the government's up to. This is all the shit that they do that we just don't know. We don't find out. Nobody knows about. And maybe one of yous do. So they actually updated this. This is like an older version, but this is basically what it is. It is, how can I explain this? Let me make it, I'm trying to figure out, how can I explain this? So what this is, it's like they invent all this stuff and they're Trojan horses. Just for instance, let's say the internet, right? So the internet, they invented it, basically, and now they're using it because it's like a Trojan horse. They could track you. They could figure out all the shit you're doing. So I'm going to show you. These people don't play around. I think this was put out in 2011, and I'm going to show you on the screen. Give me a moment. And boom. All right. So now, this is from NASA. So what they're doing is they make believe that, it's, if we're going to war with somebody and things like that. But I'm going to just show you. So this is the presentation based upon futures work with, and you look at all of this. I mean, DARPA, CIA, all of this. These are future warfighting concept developments, right? And going in assumptions, politics can do change overnight. Russia, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, potential capabilities is the future warfare. No, but who, but what? Order of 10 plus years required to develop field new systems. All right, so we're going to get to the nitty gritty, but I want to just show you like kind of this stuff. So technology, the hunter killer groups, million BC, 10K, agriculture, industrial, IT, bio, and virtual. Hunter gathering, nature provided. I don't know what some of this stuff is, but I want to get to where I understood what was going on. So, All right. So this is some of the stuff. Impacts ongoing IT revolution upon society. So you got to understand one thing about technology. Our government's got stuff in inventory that it ain't out there yet, So they're holding back on a lot of different stuff. They got a lot of stuff. And you're going to start seeing, I think soon, a lot of different things are going to start coming out because they want to take control. So they need more technology to be getting released. But I wanted to show you. So they got all these different applications. For instance, Facebook. Facebook is a Trojan horse civilian system. When Facebook first came out, whether or not Zuckerberg really invented it and did all that, I don't know. But what happened was the government, CIA, and everybody else, they approached them and they told them, we're partners with you now. And you basically got no choice because they'll just kill you anyway. They don't care. All right. But there's something in here. I was looking for it. And it's basically talking about, you're going to fight domestic enemies, domestic terrorists. And who are they considering domestic terrorists now? The people, us. If you're a conservative, you're a domestic terrorist. If you supported Trump, you're a domestic terrorist. So, but this is a whole dust air. I mean, like the EMP here, volcanic EMP info. Fuel, air, RF, chem. I didn't even read this thing yet. I just picked it up yesterday. I didn't even go through any of it. So this is like the first time I'm looking at it with you. But there's all kinds of stuff in here. I got to actually look at all this. So these are what they're doing. They have a lot of weapons that they're developing to use against us, the people. We all think that it's crazy. This is sci-fi, but this stuff is coming. Artificial life, cyber, weapon senses. I mean, they were thinking about this stuff a long time. U.S. forces run out of bullets and die. I mean, like, look at this. Fundamental problem with future U.S. power projection. So they're going to running out of bullets. Can have a country-sized mag. Can have country-sized mag filled with hordes of inexpensive precision strike munitions. Deep water subs with large loadout, swim weaponry, survival. I mean, like, it's all kinds of crazy shit. Magnets. I don't know what they're talking about. So anyway, this Trojan horse thing, there's stuff in there. I was watching the show, and they're talking about all the different things that they have already put into place to actually fight us, the people. So get ready for that. We're going to go back to this. I'm going to look at a little bit. I'm going to look into a little more of it. It's just so many pages. It's crazy. Humans hold instead of take ground, go in after sanitation. Like, see, like, what are they talking about? Future power projection. I mean, like, it's crazy. They're talking about hunter-gathering, hunting grounds, tribal bands, like changing nature of warfare. So they're worried about, like, if they start pushing us and we start, becoming tribes and we're revolting against them. I mean, this shit is crazy what they're planning. They're planning for everything. They got, no matter what's going to happen, they're basically going to be prepared. So now, yesterday, and we'll get back to it, but yesterday I'm on the Daily Mail, and the cops, they're just out of control now. This is what they did to this guy. He put a Biden sticker on the gas pump, and the guy's like, these cops, they just like brutally beat the shit out of him. I'll show you the video here. So he's arguing with the cop. And he's showing him, yeah, I put that sticker on the pump. He said, that's what I did, and not a cop. The cop chases him and beats the shit out of him on the floor because he put a sticker on the pump. So the cops tell him, give me your fucking hands. This is all over. The guy put a Biden, this is because of Biden sticker on the gas pump. I don't know if you people know what those are. I'll show you in a minute. So this is what police, this is in Pennsylvania. So this is what cops, they got nothing better to do. You know, this is what they do now. They arrest civilians for any fucking thing. He's telling the cop, I got to get a lawyer for this shit now. So he put this sticker on the pump and he got arrested for that. This is what these cops do today. I mean, they're just fucking out of control. They're out of control. This cop should be like fucking fired tomorrow. Look at what they're doing to this guy. He's telling him, why don't you just slam me the fuck in the car? Now, he tells the cop, why don't you crack my head into the door while you're at it? But this is what the guy did, and he got arrested for it. So this is what's going down in the U.S. Get ready. It's crazy. The guy was a little nutty, but do you suppose the guy's obviously I don't know if he's a Biden supporter. He's just a fucking ball buster cop that you can see he's a young cop. It's the young cops especially, man. The power gets to their brains lately. I don't know what's wrong with these cops today. But yeah, the guy was a little nutty. I don't know why he ran, but if I pulled up on that and the guy put a Biden sticker on the fucking pump, I probably would have went over and shaked his hand. But that's beside the point. Just the cops now, I don't know how they get away with all this shit. Hey, how are you, crazy Frenchman? Yeah, so we were talking about the Trojan horse, man. I just pulled up the paperwork and I'm looking at it and there's just so much shit on it. I thought it would be a little simple to explain it, but it's not. But this is basically, they got a game plan of war against us, domestic. And they're talking about all different scenarios. Beside the fact, there are a lot of Trojan horse civilian systems already. YouTube's one, Google is another, Facebook is another. They're all of them. They were already there. The government's in partners with these people now. It's just not Google anymore. Google, I think, works for the United States government now. So these are all these Trojan horse systems that they're putting into play. They talk about domestic terrorists in this NASA presentation. So who were domestic terrorists? They've been saying that, the Trump supporter is a domestic terrorist now, right? Or like the mom, there's the soccer mom that goes to school and she don't want a kid to learn how to masturbate in the 3rd grade. She's a domestic terrorist. This is what we're fucking dealing with. So that's the one thing we could go through. What else? And I had a few other things I wanted to go over today. But you see that cop, totally out of control. Don't understand anymore what's going on. I don't understand. For you that just came in, I'll show you the tape one more time. In a moment, I'll put that cop tape on again. I got a few other things here saved in my computer from last night when I was just playing around. Righty, let's check it out. We'll go through the news too. And here we go. What else was I looking at? That was, all right. Yeah, so I was doing a lot more digging. and they're talking about what's the most powerful, they were going through what the most powerful organization is actually in the country. And I didn't realize how powerful this Council of Foreign Relations is. I mean, it really threw a curveball at me a little bit. They're the most powerful organization in the United States. They say they're the most powerful organization in the whole world. So I didn't know that. And they got 5,000 members, but they're saying that the another group, the Boldberger group, or whatever they're fucking called, because I forget how to even pronounce it, a Bilderberg group or something. They say they're really powerful, and then these guys, there's only 300 of them, but I don't know. Why ain't we going after any of these people that are involved in this, members of the council? Why are these people getting away with everything? I mean, we don't even know who these people are. Chairman of the board, I never even heard of this guy. See, these are all the people that are under the radar, that are really controlling shit. And then I'm looking at all their members, right? And their members, here's the best one. He's still listed. This is the crazy part. He's still on here. He's a member. This is to show you what kind of people that belong to this thing. Epstein, the child pedophile. He's still in here. I gotta just find him. And he's in here somewhere. But who else was crazy in here? The actor there, George Clooney's in here. I couldn't believe that. He's a member of this organization. I'm like, what the hell is George Clooney doing being part of this, But Epstein was the big one that threw me out of whack. I was like, holy shit, they got a pedophile and they still got him listed. You'd think they would take his name down, right? But they didn't even take his name down. I got to look for it now just to show you, because it's Epstein. Oh, where is he? Yeah, I'm looking for him. I don't know. I seen all this shit last night. But anyway, Epstein's in there. Clooney's in there. Everybody. So let's go through what's going on in the news. Here we go. We're going to go over some of the news today. All right. Let's see what's going on out there. All right. So there's something coming up with Kemp now. Of course, this 2000 Mule video is coming up. So he's probably shitting himself right now. That guy Kemp in Georgia. The tide is turning. So Hunter Biden's laptop, they had a guy from The Hill, the magazine, the owner of the news channel, The Hill it's called. I'll show you that one in a moment. I'll show you who I'm talking about. So somebody gave him, the owner of the Hill, Washington Post, and somebody else. They handed out 3 hard drives, copies, to 3 papers, and none of them were going forward. But the guy that from the Hill, the newspaper, let me pull it up. Alrighty, well, where are you? Let's see. And where are you? Let me look at my history here. Future. I don't know. Something's up with my Anyway, I can't find anything today. I don't know. So it feels like my brain went dead today. I think I drank too much fluoride water today. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. The Daily Mail. That was it. The Hill. I don't remember the name. So this guy here, the Daily Mail, he handed him, Hunter Biden's. Oh, you guys can't even see it on the screen yet. This thing's called the Daily Mail. I think it's a Ukrainian internet newspaper. It's really big, though. It's not a little newspaper. And he got a hold of it, and he just said there was shit on there that he couldn't even believe. Like, it was getting to the point where the guy that owns the newspaper, because he had his forensic guy pulling out stuff on Biden's laptop. So he had him pulling up stuff that was deleted, because stuff's still in your hard drive, even though you delete it. I don't know if you're aware of that. There's programs that can pull up all the stuff that you deleted on your hard drive. So if you're ever really concerned, you got to take your hard drive and like microwave it or burn it. So anyway, he started pulling stuff up, like finding 40 gigabytes of, say, something like 80,000 pictures. It's including videos. So they found tons of pictures. Then the owner of the newspaper, it kept getting worse. Like he said, there's young girls. They're all emailing them pictures of themselves, sticking their tongues out. These are like underage kids. And it got to the point where, it was just child pornography and shit. And he just, it got to the point he said that I had to go to the police and give him all the stuff. He says, because, any human, person with a soul couldn't even take this shit. He said that's how bad it was. So who the hell knows what's on that laptop? I mean, there's got to be some real wild shit on that laptop. And woke mob hunts student. All right, terrifying move. Female conservative University of Buffalo student is hunted down by woke mob screaming, "No justice, no peace," after she invited prominent Black Republican to speak. So I guess they don't want a Republican speaking. The woke mob. I mean, do they pay these people to go there? Or are they really Buffalo students? I don't know. Russians turn on Putin over debts. Who knows? I mean, listen, I'm sure there are people getting killed, but, So they're starting to ramp us up, so get ready. They're going to start locking down again, maybe, because they're telling you there's a stealth variant. This is the new fucking thing. Stealth variant. So just get ready, because you don't know. They'll wake up tomorrow and that's all you got to sit in your house again. So let's see what else. Well, if these two guys ain't arrested soon, and So now we got Elon Musk. I'm watching videos. This guy, you got to understand who he is. Elon Musk, I don't like to get into it too much. This guy works for the industrial military complex. He is a chill, whatever you want to call him. All right. This guy, I don't know why people think he's such a good guy. He don't do shit. But if he says something like, "Oh, I think we should have medical freedom," he just says it. Everybody's like, "Yeah, Elon Musk, yeah." He don't do a fucking thing, this guy. He's the richest man in the world. How? Don't ask. I don't know. His companies don't even make money. They even show you that they're not really making money because they just keep investing it and they're building, and it's all a lot of governmental technology. Those spaceships flying up there, those spaceships are basically, he's transporting shit for them. Whether he's putting satellite links up there, they have that he's claiming, this is for civilians and stuff. But yet in Ukraine, he's sending his satellites now over there for the military. And our military has them, and they're using his. It's his. It's called Blackjack. Look it up. Okay? So the government has a satellite link system, and it's called Blackjack, but it's really Telsa. It's Elon Musk. All those ships you see going up there, they're going up there most of the time for like the government. Whether it's to bring weapons up there, put satellites up there. They even go to other countries with those ships. They don't always go into space. You can get to fucking China in an hour with one of those rockets. So don't believe everything. And here we go. This, how the pedophilia went away? It all went away. It was all a show. It was all to just keep you occupied. Look, that's what they do. They got us all occupied, You sit there. The problem, with this country, just like most of the world, is we all just went along with our cozy little lives, and we let these guys do shit. And we're paying attention to if, the Yankees are in the World Series, or, Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl. We're worried about LeBron James, and we're worried about, if Brad Pitt, who he's going out with, and who Angelina Jolie's going out with, their love lives. And so they got us so fucking occupied with all this bullshit. They don't got me occupied because I almost cut off everything. I watch a little bit of Netflix sometimes, even though I hate Netflix. Or I'll stream free. I usually, I only watch Netflix because my sister pays for it, so I don't care. She has like her own membership, and I'm on it, so I wouldn't give Netflix 2 pennies to put together. I could stream everything for free that's on Netflix, but that's about all. As far as I go. I mean, I used to love football. I was the average American person. I was addicted to football. And Sunday and Monday, you couldn't get me off the television. But we have to realize we're gonna learn, as Americans especially, that we need to be looking at what they're doing. The hell with fucking football. We got to be looking at what all these politicians have been, once we get rid of a lot of these evil people, we got to do something. I mean, all evil really needs, for evil to be prosperous, it basically needs the good people to do nothing. And that's what we've been doing for a long time. Nothing. Okay? We've been just sitting around, living our little lives, going to work and coming home and watching TV and just not giving a shit. We basically don't give a shit, but we're going to start to give a shit soon. We need to start critically thinking. We got to start critically thinking. I mean, we got to start saying, hey, I want food that isn't poison. Hey, I want water that doesn't have fluoride in it. Hey, I want clean air. I mean, they're dropping shit in our air, and everybody thinks, as soon as they hear chemtrail, it's a conspiracy theory. Let's forget about chemtrail, okay? They're modifying weather right now, okay? They go up there, they seed clouds, they do all kinds of crazy shit to the atmosphere. Now, global warming, yeah, there is global warming. Do you know why? It's because they keep putting all that shit up in the air, and they're basically going to say it's us. We did it. We didn't do nothing. They're putting metals. They're putting salt. They're doing all kinds of shit up there. Now, all this stuff, when it comes down, and you can watch, there's a lot of videos out there. A lot of areas, all the trees are dying because this shit falls to the ground. And then there's some areas where it's real heavy, where one guy who lives in Arizona, he says, I go out my door sometimes, I look up in the sky, and it's all these trails going back and forth, crisscross, and they're making clouds. And he says, I've been feeling like shit recently. I've been living here a long time, but like recently I've been feeling terrible. He went and had his blood tested. And his blood has like 10 times the amount of aluminum in it, boron in it, and all kinds of all these metals. He has like 10 times the lethal amounts that you're supposed to have. And the guy, he grows his own vegetables. He has his own well. He had his water tested. It was fine. He had his food sources tested. So it wasn't nothing he eats. They were trying to tell him, yo, you're eating Brazilian nuts. One doctor told him, are you eating Brazilian nuts? He goes, I'm not eating fucking Brazilian nuts. So it's from the air that he's breathing. And then he had his soil tested, and it has tons of metal in it. So there are certain areas in the U.S. right now that are getting bombarded with this shit. All right? They have an agenda, okay? And it's called greed more than anything. They're evil people. They have an agenda. It's greed. And we better wake up and start watching these people. We got to start to watch them. If we don't start watching these people, we're going to get screwed. We got to really start watching everything they do. And I think we are starting to. I mean, if you look at it now, people are more involved in politics than they ever were. They were like with the voting systems. People are starting to really dig deep. So that's a good thing. Instead of watching football, let's watch these politicians, what the hell they're doing, So I don't know if anybody knows what Kmart is. There's only 3 of them left across the country. And there were 3. New Jersey, Kmart sells off its fixtures, have fizzed as it shutters this week, and leaves just 3 of the original 2,000 stores open across U.S. So there's only 3 Kmarts left out of 2,000 stores. So NASA has this space launch technology to fling satellites into orbit. Like, how is that going to happen? They're going to fling them up there? I don't know. Skydiver plummets 13,500 feet and hits the ground at 125 miles an hour after parachute got tangled, but survives. All right, that's good news. I don't know. I don't really care about people. $3.5 million wedding. Who cares? Don't really care. Oklahoma sisters are jailed for plotting to kill ex-boyfriend and his new wife by luring them to church and shooting them through car window. Man, that's some ex-girlfriend to have, huh? So they got Sam Elliott now apologizing for comments he said about the movie Power of the Dog. I guess there were 2 gay men, and I don't know. He made a criticism of homosexuality. Imagine this shit now. People got to apologize for everything. Don't matter what they do. Boy, they're really building up this plot, man. I don't know what happened in this building, but that shit don't look right. New footage claims Russian tanks being picked off. Yeah, those are American drones. We're sending drones here. We're going to start World War III soon. Don't worry. It's coming, too. The way it's going. I mean, we're supplying drones and all kinds of shit. It's only a matter of time before Putin said he has enough. All right. So anybody got any questions? Who's in here today? Because today I don't have that much energy. So anybody got anything they want to talk about? I'm a little burnt out today. Let's see what Gateway Pundit has. Anything good here? Let me see. Oh, so there's a big protest outside TED Talk. Bill Gates is going there. I think who else is going there? There's a few people going to that, and they're all outside there. This is on Twitter, and they're all. It's in Canada, I think, and they're all screaming, "Bill Gates sucks." You know, everybody hates Bill Gates. You know, because they found out he's a eugenist. That's why I don't understand, you know, all these eugenists and stuff, and they want to get rid of us and kill us like we're little mice. I don't understand why they think they're going to be able to travel. I mean, they're going to have to live on their own island because they're not going to be safe. So I found this clip. I want you to check this out. Of course, this is kind of weird how Hollywood just kind of lets you know, like, it's about a minute long. All right, so I'm going to put it on. You check it out.
But there was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny. Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
How about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
So you see, even Hollywood, you know, they rub it in your face. It's not about food. It's about keeping us in line. See, these food shortages, they're going to create them because they just want to show you who the boss is. See, they could just cut off our food supply. I mean, this is what they're going to start to do. We haven't felt a big part of it yet, but, you know, inflation, and then there's going to be food shortages, and there's, you know, it's the elites making it happen. It's not like just all of a sudden all this shit is going on for no reason. I mean, you really believe that we can't get ships into the ports? No, they're holding everything up. The trains can't deliver the feed for the cattle. Of course not. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is it's saying Bill Gates is planning to kill 1.5 billion people. They want us to have one child per person, you know, per family. Pretty soon you'll only be able to have one child. So they're talking about CO2, right? So he's talking about CO2 and how we're sucking up all, you know, we're putting all the CO2 out when in fact, it's all the shit that they're dropping on us with all these modifications, I call them. I'm not even calling them chemtrails because they're way different than that. They're modifying the weather, right? So they're dropping all these metals in the air. I keep telling everybody, this shit lingers. Okay? It doesn't linger for more than a couple of minutes if it's jet fuel. This shit lingers for like a day sometimes. And you got all these clouds. Do you know that we have 20% less sunlight hitting the earth now because of all the shit they're putting up there? They're constantly, putting these artificial clouds, and they're claiming that they're trying to stop global warming when they're actually causing it. They're tearing the ozone layer, they're claiming, too, with all this shit. So the sun is actually heating up more. Even though we're getting less sunlight, it's still hotter. It's coming through. So it's just crazy. I don't understand all the science. All I know is they're going to fuck the planet up and blame us, the people. This is how they work. They're very smart at what they do. So is there climate change? Absolutely. But it's not we're causing it. They're causing it. You're pretty soon you're not going to be able to get vitamin D in your body. You better start taking supplements. That's hardly something. In another 10 years, it'll cut down another 20%. We'll have 40% less sunlight hitting. Once they start doing that, and you go, why would they do that? Well, because they're greedy people. That's why they do these things. It's greed, it's business, and then there's some evil son of a bitches. We're fighting monsters. We're not fighting normal people. You got maybe, I don't know exactly how many people, but you got all these secret organizations. But the top ones, so maybe you got the top 10,000 people in the world controlling the whole planet. It's crazy. Of course, all the CEOs of the big companies, all the big important politicians, all the billionaires, they're all in these secret organizations. These things should be illegal. Kennedy was trying to make them illegal, and it didn't work out too well for him, did it? Every president that's ever come along that tried to get rid of these people, it didn't work out for them. Reagan tried. Kennedy tried. And one other, Martin Luther King was trying to get rid of a lot of this shit. So they always have one common factor. Okay? And that's they all end up dead. It's terrible. Kennedy's brother was trying. You ain't getting rid of these people, especially the industrial military complex. You're not getting rid of them. Bill Gates is working on having mosquitoes transmit. He's claiming vaccines when he's gonna put diseases in them. That's what they'll do. So Bill Gates in a TED talk one time had a jar of mosquitoes and released them in one of these TED talks and said that there's no reason only poor people should have the experience. There's tons of people out in Vancouver because he's going to the TED talk there. And I don't know, he better have a good security detail there, Bill Gates, because they're looking at people they want to kill him almost. I mean, that's how bad it is. I don't know why. Here we go. The new hero now. This is the new hero. Did you ever really hear this guy talk? He's not that smart. I heard him on Joe Rogan. He barely can hold his own with Joe Rogan. So, I mean, he's not really that smart. He comes from a real rich, powerful family, I think in South Africa. And he basically is he's part of all this shit. He's just playing the good guy role. That's all. He's the guy that's bringing all the AI, they're transplanting it. They want to put it in people. They've experimented already. They put chips in 10,000 people already. And they're saying it's for depression. They're trying to get people, they put the chip in their brain to make them not depressed. I don't know what the outcome, but they wanted it. The real thing that they're doing now with all this, with the transgender movement and all this shit that they're doing, they just want to make us, it's not going to happen to probably most of the people that are alive right now. But the younger generation and their children, they do move a little slower, but they're ramping it up. Usually they move a little slower than this, but for some reason they're speeding up everything, right? So their goal is to get us as humans into more of a Borg. They want us to be like the fucking Borg, like hybrid, like with a lot of different stuff inside of us that they can control us and stuff. So that's what they're looking to do. And trash cans in the house. And Crazy Frenchman. And Bill Datto. So, trash can, they're making their last minute money. Absolutely. That's what these guys are doing, I'll tell you, it's getting to the point where, I get on and I talk about stuff, but like, how much can you talk about? I'm trying to tell people we got to wake up. We got to start critically thinking. We have to start getting everybody to critically think, because when we start all looking at these people and watching them, instead of watching football, we start watching what they're doing in our government, all these laws they're passing and shit like that. Then maybe we'll get, shit done. Maybe. Because no matter what happens, these people do not get arrested. They don't get put in jail. Then once in a while, they'll put one guy, they'll throw him in jail, they'll throw you a bone, make you, even Epstein. I mean, I guess they had no choice with him. They had to do it. But there's plenty of pedophile islands out there in places still. Tons of them. So here's a shocking university study reveals Google's Gmail system in 2020 had anti-conservative bias that got worse as election approached. A study performed by the Department of Computer Science at North Carolina State revealed that Google had a material liberal leaning bias in 2020. Yeah, well, whoever voted for Biden, I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy now. I don't know if you guys know this. There was a manhole explosion in Times Square, and everybody was running like it was the end of the world. It was just a manhole cover. Like, I don't know if you people know what a manhole is. Some of you don't live in the big cities. It's like where the sewers, the water's underneath. And there was a loud eruption in a manhole cover. And look at them. Imagine something really happened. Forget it. Times Square. I never see, this is nothing. I don't even know why there's such little people there. I've been to Times Square 100 times. This is not even crowded. So I don't know. But that's what happened. These are the people that you gotta, if you could hear it, you would hear them going, "Oh my God, run, run." Look at this. You can't make this shit up. Anyway, if you've never seen New York, this is what it looks like. You got hot dog carts all over the place. I used to work there, so. Oh, boy. I tell you, it doesn't end, man. It doesn't end. If it ain't one thing, it's the next. So we got Miami-Dade made a, I don't know if you lived in Miami. It's called Dade County. It's Miami. And the mayor is declaring state of emergency because housing affordability due to unprecedented rent increases. They're saying that it's so expensive to live in Miami now. It's like living in California almost. So I lived in Miami for 2 years. It wasn't cheap. People think it's, it was just, I felt like I almost lived in Manhattan. It was so expensive. And that was about 3 years ago. I lived there, 4 years ago. So they still don't want to let the January 6th thing go. They're still talking about it. Now, France is having their election, so we got to watch this because this is the president right now of France, and the whole country hates him. Like, he's like another Biden almost, but he's evil. And this is supposedly, this woman here is like, it's close. And there's another guy that's like Donald Trump, and he's like the third. He's got the third. So they're saying that this vote is close, where this guy really, maybe 10% of the population likes him. So I guess they're rigging the machines because it don't make any sense. Everybody hates the guy. New York City Mayor Adams tests positive for COVID. What is this? Is it a cold? I mean, like, what is it? Because I've been everywhere. I don't know. So there's a big thing out there now, boycott groomers, and they have a picture of Disney. I mean, who wants to really deal with going to Disneyland now? If you got to almost tie a rope around your kid's wrist and your wrist, so in case something happens, you got to be scared to go to Walt Disney. They're going to take your kid. And this is this guy here. I don't know. I don't even know if he's still alive. Says he's supporting bankrolling defund the police. See, I don't say defund the police. I say you got to retrain the police. A lot of them got to be retrained because they're just like stormtroopers now. And here you got Fauci saying that we're going to have to maybe start wearing masks again. They just want to let you know that they're in charge. I mean, we went through this thing for 3 years, so they just basically want you to be able to put the mask on for the rest of your life, on and off. It's going to be going down. Here you got Musk. He goes to the Air Force Academy, and they're roaring like he's some kind of fucking hero, this guy. I don't know. What has he done, Elon Musk, that people love him? Like, I can't understand. What has this guy done for anybody? And even in this speech, you got to go on Twitter and listen. He doesn't have a brain. He's not that smart. He sounds like he's a guy that maybe got like 2 years of college behind him if he's lucky. Or somebody that just graduated high school and speaks well. I mean, the guy really is not intelligent. I don't know how he's so rich. So this guy's saying they're hiding a lot of shit with the Biden laptop. Listen, they had that Biden laptop 2 years ago. Almost, now they're bringing it up. Give me a break. All right. Let's see what else we got. Anybody got any questions? Doo-doo-doo. Rudy Giuliani on a list of Americans sanctioned by Iran. Meanwhile, Biden working to remove Iranian Guard from U.S. sanctions list. This guy's always crying. I don't even want to talk about Jesse Smollett, whatever his name is. So here you got a guy that went January 6th. He went to the Capitol. He walked in the building. The guy didn't do anything, didn't break nothing, didn't do anything. And he's already in jail for over a year, And they said he's claiming they're treating him like terrible. Like you're lucky if you get fed wherever they got that. They're punishing these people. that they don't want us to do what they did. You know, they're scared shit out of their minds that it's gonna next time it's gonna be for real. You know, here's a picture in China. What's inside those bags are dead animals. They're dogs, cats. They're killing their animals now. So. So this looks like good news for France. We'll really see. Voting in France is on Sunday. No mail-in ballots. No dirty voting machines. Only paper ballots. And everyone must show voting ID, voter ID. That's what we should be doing here, right? No mail-in ballots and no dirty machines. And everyone got to show, you got to show ID. You're an American. You know? I mean, should we just mail out ballots to the whole world? Have people voting for who's our president? Maybe they'll send a couple of million ballots to China and tell them, who do you want to vote for? You know, I mean, come on. Oh, why would they hold it? Very simple. They were covering it up. They were hoping it never got leaked out. The only reason why it got leaked out, Bill, is because somebody that worked for the CIA or the FBI, I think it's the FBI, made it. One of them got a hold of it and they made a copy of a hard drive. And he released it to like 3-4 news media organizations. And they weren't doing anything until the guy that owns the newspaper in England, the Daily Mail, started releasing all the stuff that it was he verified everything and it was, wasn't fake. So then the other media outlets knew that this shit was going to blow up. So they all jumped on it and made believe like they're doing their job for once. But that's the only reason. And the guy that released the information, he was on the Bannon show, I think, too. He went to Switzerland. He disappeared from the United States. Said he was scared for his life because probably the CIA got a hit out for him now. So they were covering it up. They don't want this information to get out there. Why would they hold any information? Because they're covering it up. It's always a cover up. So Trump's saying we got some rhinos. I could care. You know what? I mean, Trump's better than Biden, but I could care less about him either. He's just the better of the, pick your poison. Of course, you're going to pick Trump. All right, I think I went over this already. These guys, they didn't even get indicted for that kidnapping that they were blamed for. I think they're FBI agents or something. They were working undercover. That's what I think. So, I'll show you guys one more time that streaming where the cops arrested this guy. Yeah, let me edit. So they arrested this guy for putting one of these stickers on a gas pump. This is what they arrested him for. I mean, they got nothing better to do, right? So here it is. Here's the video. So he's arguing with the cop right now. I think he tells him, fuck you, because the cop's making a big deal out of nothing. And he tells the cop, yeah, I put the sticker on the pump. Now, I don't know what happens, but he starts to run away, and the cop jumps on him. I guess he was I don't know what it was. So I guess he was running into the store, and then the cop pins him on the ground and just fucking pushes his head into the concrete. It's crazy. Yeah, if I was a cop and I rolled up on that and the guy put a sticker on the fucking thing, I would just tell him, all right, listen, take the sticker off because the owner of the gas station called and complained. I would have just told him, take the sticker off and just go home. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to arrest the guy for that. And then he cuffs him up. Nice, right? Then other cops show up. And they're trying to get him in the car, and he won't go in the car, I guess. Which is stupid. You know, you try not to resist arrest because the way the cops are, just get in the fucking car and go. But they beat him up pretty good, putting him in the car, too. So here's your gas, man. $6.14. Look at that. Now, that's in California. It's at $4 around, everywhere. It's been going up. Yeah, and the red is the highest. But I where I live, it's $3.99, so $4 a gallon. I live in Jersey right now. Can't wait to get out of here. All right. You think someone paid him for that laptop? What do you mean, Daddy-o? Daddo? Like, who someone pays who for the laptop? You mean, did the newspaper pay him, you mean, to get the laptop? Is that what you're talking about? I'm looking for some stuff. Yeah. It's possible. I'm sure he probably, if I had that laptop, I'd be on eBay with it. I want the highest bidder. Why not? But I don't think so. I'm not sure. I think he just handed it to them because he just wanted to put it. He handed it to like 4 different news outlets, and they all started reporting it. But they only all started reporting it because the one guy, he was the one that really came out, and they just wanted to basically. They knew it was getting reported, so they figured they might as well get the publicity too. Like he gave it to the Washington Post. He gave it to this news source here from England. Let me see, the Daily Mail, it's called. They're real big, the Daily Mail. And the Daily Mail had a forensic guy come in, and they looked at everything, and they started pulling out all the files, and they confirmed it was real. And they went, they went on their newspaper online. It's an online newspaper. And they started, showing people all the shit that's going on with the Biden laptop. And that's why the rest of the news media started doing it too, because it was already out there. I'm sure they weren't going to say anything unless somebody else came out with it. Like the Washington Post, Bill Bezos, whatever the fuck his name, Jeff Bezos there, he owns that. So he's with the elites, So anybody else? How's it going out there? Let me see if I got any surprise videos for anybody today. I had a few of them, but I had a few things to talk about. Let me see what else I wanted to talk about. Who is there? Oh, we got a few comments going on. Vigo, good morning, and how are you? You missed the whole show. We're almost done. That's all right, Vigo. I'm not in a rage mode today, so this show is going to be more calm than usual. But yeah, we were talking about Trojan horse civilian system. So there's a whole. You guys got to go look into this. There's videos on it. And basically, it's just like they're showing you. There's all these NASA files that show you. They have plans with everything. I mean, these people, they plan out everything. And, like just to give you an example of one of the Trojan horses would be Facebook. I mean, you know how much facial recognition now they have because of Facebook? Everybody's putting their pictures up. They put their family pictures up. All that shit is in the database. Everything. Everybody. Your kids' pictures in there. Your pictures in there. Of Lizzo boarding the plane. And you might be after you see that photo. Oh, what is a Trojan horse? Let me see. Who is it? Lizzo. Who's Lizzo, V-Pops? I'm going to look it up right now. Who is Lizzo? Yeah, they do. So, the singer. All right. People, did you see? I'm going to look at right now. Let's see what you're talking about. Lizzo? I don't even know who these people are. Singer. Maybe Liza Minnelli, but who's Lizzo? Oh, it looks like she's a big woman. And boarding the plane. No, Lizzo singer boarding the plane. Let me see. Boarding plane. With butt cutouts. Oh my goodness. That's Lizzo, huh? That's crazy. I did. I didn't know she had her butt cheeks were hanging out. That's funny. Why don't you just wear no clothes? I mean, what the hell's the difference? Take it all off. But, hey, these girls, I mean, she's so fat, so her singing doing it. How does this girl sing? Is she a good singer at least? With that, I mean, usually big women, they could sing. She likes showing off it. Believe it or not, there's men out there that like them big women. I don't, but not that big anyway. There's men out there, boy. They see that. I got one of my son's friends. He loves women that big. You're funny, Vigo. Telling me you may be mad after you see that picture, Pops. It actually made me laugh. So anybody got anything? Come on now. Let me put a link if anybody wants to come on, because copy. Let me put a link out there for people. If you want to come on the show, you're invited. And here we go. Maybe somebody else has got something they could bring to the Pops show today. Because Pops is I'm a little tired. I didn't get good sleep last night. Not because I couldn't sleep. It was just got interrupted too much. My sister, she didn't feel good. She wakes up. She's keeping me up. Things like that. All right, so I put it on there. If anybody wants to come on, be my guest. And Let me get rid of all this stuff. Lizzo boarding the plane, man. That shit was funny. Man, I just watched the video for 2 seconds of that. She got like a cellulite butt too, though. Like too much cellulite. Ugh. That shit is nasty. Yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson, he's funny sometimes. He must be having real fun with that. I know him. All right. You don't like cottage cheese. Yeah, that's some nasty stuff. Ugh. I don't really like cottage cheese anyway. In reality of real cottage cheese. But pretty soon, it won't matter. You'll eat whatever you got. I was watching a show on about the food shortages, and they said something like 100 million people already have died of famine in Africa this year because of food. They said it's really bad. Said not in the United States yet. Said it's going to take about a year to get here. By the time, we're going to be like one of the last countries that are going to have problems with food. And basically it is because we'll just buy up everybody else's food supplies. Like America will just keep buying up everybody else's. So they said like Africa is going to get hit. Like they already got hit, but they're going to get hit even harder. They're going to lose hundreds of millions of people in that continent. The people are starving there as it is. So it's just getting worse over there. And then after, beside there, it's going to be China. China, they have a lot of, they censor everything in China, right? They don't even, it's hard to get a video out. But once in a while, people sneak them out. And there's people that are actually in their apartments. They can't come out. They have no food. They're throwing themselves off their balconies. They show you videos of people screaming in protest. They show you like there's a video of a drone flying around, and it's telling them, do not leave your house. If you leave your house, you will be arrested. Like this drone at night, and all the people are standing on their terrace in China, and they're screaming and they're protesting. But I mean, so scream on your balcony. That's a protest. What's that going to do? You're going to starve to death? I mean, if it ever gets to that point, America, I don't think Americans are going to sit in their house and just starve to death. They're going to go break shit, So that's what they're doing in China. They got their people, and the military. They're probably making sure they feed them. So if the civilians try to rebel, you got a lot of soldiers. It's not going to be easy. Things are happening. Let's see what Bill Gates' newspaper wants you to believe today. All right. Manhole explosion, smoke send panic crowds running in Times Square. Manholes used to blow up even when I was a kid. The steam and stuff underneath. Sometimes a manhole cover would just shoot up in the air. And they're heavy. People 50 and older are eligible for a second COVID booster. Yeah, I'm going to run and get mine. Woohoo! So what is this guy got on he's robbing? I don't get it. I really don't care. Warsaw seizes abandoned Russian spy nest for Ukraine. I don't know what they're talking about. The story of He Janaki now out of jail after editing DNA of unborn babies. Don't have no idea. So Ronaldo, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a famous soccer player. He smashed the phone out of a kid's hand. Really? The Best in the Wilds looks Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly have worn out as a couple. Oh, look at them. Two Satan worshippers hanging out together. California cities with the dirtiest and cleanest air. Look at that. Does that look like London or something? Anything interesting? I don't know. Fortnite maker Epic gets $2 billion from Sony Lego owner. Who cares? We got to worry about if we're going to have food, and they're telling me about who gives a shit about Fortnite? A detestable blockbuster. What is this about? Pikachu? Look at that thing. That thing is ugly, huh? A comic book movie or something. I don't know. Lost $100 million. Big deal. I don't really care if they lose $500 million. Do you? Fauci predicted what will happen next. They don't even show you what he said, so he's claiming that we're gonna have another pandemic, and you're gonna have to wear your mask again. So get ready. Maybe they'll lock us down again because they probably won't. They probably won't even have to pay people unemployment anymore because they already paid them. So you can't keep collecting forever. After a certain amount of time, that's it. Experts urge Americans to conquer their debt. Yeah, how are we going to conquer our debt? We can't even pay our bills. Austria's leader says face-to-face meeting with Putin was not a friendly visit. Yeah, it's another thing this Elon Musk did. Well, who the fuck does that? Like, who calls out a leader? He goes, I want to challenge him to, he wants to challenge Putin to a one-on-one duel. Well, I don't know if he realizes Putin's, first of all, Putin, I think, is like 60 years old. He's not a young man. But that guy is like a black belt in judo, a real deal black belt. Like, I've even seen tapes of him fighting. He's the real deal. He's not like a fake, NASA testing 5,000 mile per hour space slingshot spin launch. Here's how it works. So they got a slingshot. NASA has agreed to test a new way of getting things into space. All right, spin launch announced. It gets above the stratosphere, the part of the Earth's atmosphere that extends to 31 miles high. So they got some kind of shit that could just slingshot shit up. They said they're going to be slingshotting satellites up there. I don't know. Is this some alien technology now we got? When do we get a thing we sling? What is that, a roller coaster ride or something? Crazy stuff every day. Something more crazy. I wonder if they make that a ride in Universal Park. Slingshot into space. See, this is all they want you to know. Kelly Clarkson just dazzled on the red cup. You know what it is? They make a big deal, the media. It's all the media, man. So the media makes a big deal out of all the distractions, the movie stars, their relationships, what sports team's winning, or, so you could like hope, oh, next year, my sports team, I hope they win. You know when I knew it was really bad? When I seen fucking like 1,000 people at the draft of, like, say, the NFL draft. Like, actually people are going to watch that. Like, oh, I hope we get this player for my team. They act like it's their team. Like, people are just out there, man. So this is what you got to deal with. Japan just made a flying machine. Yeah, I'll show you this one. So it's over here. They just made a $777,000 motorbike. Look at this. The future is here. So the shit's like Star Wars, Remember Star Wars? They fly around in those things. Shit, if I was rich, I'd buy one of them things for sure. I want to have one of them. That shit looks fun. But this is what they do, Oh, so like I was saying, they want you so distracted with all this bullshit. So you go home and they make the media make such a big deal out of all this bullshit. So you pay attention to whatever the media is putting out there, right? So that bullshit becomes your priority instead of you watching them, passing 5 laws in Congress that take away more of your freedom, So this is what they want, and it's working. I said it before. Basically, the only way evil wins is when we, the good people, forget to think and we don't pay attention. We just and that's how evil wins. Because the good people, they're not paying attention. And that's us. We're the good people. I'm the good people. You're the good people. And we don't pay attention. And they walk all over us. And we got 420 in the house. Thank you for coming, 420. What's going on? Yeah, I wanted to talk about the subject, Trojan horse civilian system. I'm going to actually talk about it more next time. I got to get more information, but it just popped up last night. I was looking into it, and there's a lot of paperwork on it. Basically, NASA, there's a whole playbook, man, and they got all these things that they're going to, they're preparing for. So they've been doing this. This is since 2011, and they're making believe, this is in case they go to war with another country. But then later on, when you're reading, if you start reading everything, it's about domestic terrorism. And who are the domestic terrorists? Us. So they're getting ready to battle with us. This is the problem. This is the big fucking problem. The government is being run by monsters right now. And they're being run by, let's say, 2 or 3 big organizations. Okay, so they're really running the government. The government just works for these 2, 3 big organizations. And that's the way it's rolling. So they're getting ready. People, we are in the new world order. I don't know who don't see it yet, but we're in it. Now, I don't know if we could get out of it, but we are in it now. They've already sunk their teeth into us. Because we would do. Hey, I'm just like you. I was, we were too busy watching our favorite football team and watching basketball and watching movie stars dating each other and worrying about them instead of worrying about our own lives, what these monsters are doing up there in Washington. So that's what we're up against now, And these aren't even, look, all this stuff that we talk about, all this shit that they thought, they may believe it was conspiracy theories and all this shit. It's all happening. It's not even anymore. They're not even, it's just, they don't even have to say the word conspiracy theory anymore because most people don't give a shit anyway. Most people say, I don't give a shit anyway. Read my comment about Nassau. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Nassau can use Lizzo's thong to sling stuff. It's big enough. Yep. Vigo, you got to be part of the comedy hour. And what was your other comment? Megan Fox and her boyfriend drank each other's blood. I believe it. Yeah. These are sick people, man. These are monsters. That'd be funny. They could use her tongue. Yep. So that's what's going on. Anybody seen anything out there you want to talk about? Let me see if we can find some more stuff. Let's go searching for more craziness. That's what we do, right? This is what we got nothing better to do and search for craziness. So here we go. So this is Fox. They're another bullshit artist. So powerful new images emerge as Ukrainians are not backing down from Putin's brutality. He's the real bad guy. He's the boogeyman. There he is, the boogeyman. And this guy here is worth like, I forgot how many $1 billion now. They're saying it's like over $2 billion. Where did he get his money from? I guess he got all his money from this guy. The big guy. He had to get 10% cut. They were sending all that stuff to Ukraine. The big guy. So they want to pass a policy. I've seen this in California, something that they could teach like kids in the 3rd grade about I think masturbation or something like that. Some crazy shit, man. But this is what they want to do. Lizzo's thong. That was a good one. I tell you, Vigo, you're getting funnier by the moment. So that's funny. Jeffrey Epstein told people that Prince Andrew was a useful idiot, book claim. So Jeffrey Epstein wrote a book. Imagine that. You're a pedophile and you're writing books. All right. I don't see nothing on Fox. Let's go to CNN, man. Oh, I love CNN. It's like watching it's like watching a bullshit reality show. CNN. If you really want to know what's going on, watch CNN and anything they say, reverse it. And that's the news. So if they tell you the sky is green, that's not it. If they tell you the sky is black, it's really white. Whatever CNN says, I reverse it. And that's how I get the truth. So, like, this is saying Russia defaults on debt as Ukraine braces for assault. So, I think it's Russia didn't default on their debt and Ukraine ain't bracing for an assault. See, you got to flip the news. Whatever CNN says, just make it the opposite. That's all. It's very simple. Oh, they don't got nothing interesting either. I don't know what's up with these news outlets. Don't know, and don't know. Well, Frenchman, it's really not fake news if you flip it. It's just reverse news. So whatever they say, reverse it. That's it. If they tell you America sent 10,000 troops into Ukraine, just America didn't send any troops into Ukraine. Just reverse it. You got to just anything CNN says, just reverse it. And that'll be the news. That's how you find out the truth. You just reverse whatever CNN's saying. And that's how you get the truth. It's simple. That's all you got to do. Reverse it. It's not take that hard to do. Yeah, I watch Newsmax. I liked them in the beginning. I'll tell you a little story about Newsmax because I seen it. So I liked Newsmax in the beginning. They were really, I guess they were backing up Trump with the election and all that shit. And then little by little, I just seen them. There's only like one or two guys that are all right in there, but little by little, I seen them kind of like not really pushing issues that they should have been pushing. They weren't saying a lot of stuff. They were like kind of leaning left a little bit. And then when they forced their employees to get the magic potion, supposedly all their employees had to get it. Once they did that, I was like done with Newsmax. But they're probably still better than CNN. I mean, I mean, if I had to pick one news network out there, it's either maybe Newsmax. I mean, we're talking mainstream here. Of course, I won't even watch either one of them. But Fox, I watch Tucker a little bit. Tucker seems to be the only one out there that's saying anything, against them. But he's not really. He's doing it very like soft. Tucker's doing it, but he's not really giving you the information. He's just talking. Well, I liked Hannity for a while, and then Hannity flipped too. Hannity's, Putin's the bad, he's the boogeyman, and, he's basically like, he's acting like he's a Democrat, though. Like, he's really acting like real Democratic, so. But Kennedy's starting to flip a little bit, too. These guys, you got to understand that they got a boss, Rupert Murdoch. And, they're, he's part of the club, they basically are controlling both sides of the opposition. You got CNN and you got all these liberal, and then you got Fox, but it's basically they're controlling the news on both ends of the spectrum. Okay, so no matter what news you get, it's only the news they want you to get. They want to control. The far left is out of control, right? So now the far right, they'll control it. All right? So you'll only get a little piece of the far right. If you had a real far right, man, they'd be showing you what's on Hunter Biden's laptop by now. Oh, it's Shift in the house. What's up? How's it going, Shift? Yeah, it's complete dog shit. You gotta like really search on the internet for a couple of guys maybe you could trust for internet news. The guys that get like banned from YouTube, those are the guys you gotta watch. Of course, obviously they're saying shit that they don't want to get out there, right? So if they're getting banned from YouTube, that means that guy's telling the truth. And they're hiding, they don't want the truth out there. That's definitely that's how you find the real news. That's the only thing hurting them, the New World Order. They thought they would be controlling the media so good that people like us weren't going to get the real news. But they don't realize that the technology now, anybody can become a reporter. Like, I get your phone. You can just walk around with your phone and record shit. And you're like a news reporter now. I mean, so that's the problem. That's what hurt them. I could go buy like a decent, like $100 GoPro camera. I'll get the helmet cam and I'll just walk around interviewing people, going, doing shit. And that's it. I'll make a fake press pass, put it around my neck and walk around. I mean, it's really crazy. Oh yeah, I was just busting his balls. But I was telling him like half the truth. Like it was all the truth, but like I was just didn't really want to go crazy on there, but I did it anyway just to give it to him. My friend's talking about a show I was on the other night. Yeah, I go on this show and these guys are all talking about how the dating game is out there and all this shit. And I'm like, really? Like, this is what you care about? Like, this is what's important, and like when I was a young man, I'm 57. We used to just go to a bar, see a girl we like, go up there, start talking to her. If we picked her up, we picked her up. We didn't, you moved on and went to the next one. And these guys are making it like, it's impossible to do that. It doesn't work anymore. Women don't want to talk to you, this and that. I'm like, that's bullshit. If you're ugly, that's part of the problem. If you're not a decent looking guy, you ain't picking up any woman. The women today are picky, just like men are anyway, too. If you're an ugly woman, it ain't easy no more. So then you got all this Tinder and shit. You can put your picture there and you don't even have to meet the girl. So you'll have hundreds of girls looking at you. If they swipe, they like you. Shit, I wish they had that when I was a kid. Forget it. It would have been 100 times easier. I went to a club and maybe I seen, a couple of hundred girls in the club and there was a couple of hundred guys and that was it. So I can imagine if I could put my picture when I was younger on Tinder and thousands of women were going to see my picture. I'm sure a lot of them would have liked me. That would have been great. I would have had forget it. I would have been out of control. Good thing I wasn't born today, like a young man today. When I seen Facebook, I got excited. I was like, shit, if we had Facebook like when I was 25 years old, forget it. I would have been so great. It would have been great. Now you just like to send your picture to a phone. Crazy. Yeah, but I watch all these shows, Shift, and these fucking people are worried about dating. Like, really? The world is on fire, and we're gonna have all kinds of issues coming up. I think you should be worrying about like making money, maybe, so you could weather the storm that's coming our way, or start stocking up on food, start thinking about stuff. So I don't know what's wrong with this stupid comment page. Okay, now it's full page. I had to fix something. I couldn't see what some of you guys were saying. It was getting cut off, some of the letters. Oh, forget it. I still think I have a few kids out there. I don't know where they are. But, that's what happens. Yeah, Vigo. So we were talking about that. So I was teasing these guys. I was like, so what's your pickup line? It was on this dating show. And I'm on a show. There's like 8 guys, but they're all younger than me, in their 20s and stuff. And they don't even know what a pickup line is. They're like, what do you mean a pickup line? I go like, yeah, if you had to go up to a girl and say hello to her, what do you do? I mean, the best pickup line really is just walk over and just say hello. But what's your best pickup line? None of them had a pickup line. They're like, what do you mean? I said, and they were making fun of me, like, oh, you're a dirty dog. You got pickup lines. I go, listen, that's how we rolled in 1980. There was no like smartphones and shit. We had beepers, and then we ended up with like flip phones, eventually. And we only used phones to make phone calls. We didn't have all this social media, computer phones, and all this crazy shit. So here was my pickup line anyway. So none of them had a pickup line. I made them suffer a little bit. I wouldn't give them mine right away. They're like, oh, you don't really got a pickup line. I go, I do too. I says, so this one worked out the best for me. I said, I had different ones. I mean, I had funny ones too, but I would go over to a girl, she would, even if she looked at you, but she didn't smile or nothing, you got to make a little eye contact, right? So then I walked over and I said, excuse me, you look exactly like my second wife. And I was young too at this time. Like say I'm 23, 24. And the girl would look at me and go, what do you mean your second wife? How many times were you married? And I would look her dead in the eyes and I would tell her once. And they were all like, I was like, what don't you get? I said, if you didn't understand that, then you don't have a brain. And if the girl didn't understand it, I knew she was an airhead, right? So I would say once. So I'm telling the girl, you're going to be my second wife, right? That's the inside part of the joke. And the girls that understood it loved it, and the girls that didn't understand it, they were brain dead. But I mean, we had all kinds of shit. I went up to girls with corny shit and just to make them laugh. I went up to a girl one time. I said, excuse me, are you from Mars? And the girl would go, what do you mean am I from Mars? I go, because your ass is out of sight. And then you just make them laugh. Whatever you're going to do. If you could make a girl laugh, that's the biggest thing, So we used to have all these pickup lines, man. I had tons of them. It depended where I was, the type of environment I was in, So, and then sometimes, most of the time, I just go over and say hello. Once the girl makes eye contact with you, that's it. It's all over. That girl just looked at me once, done. Here I come. But this is what people talk about. And there ain't nothing wrong with talking about this shit. You have a little fun with it, but there's so much shit going on in this world that we should be concerned about. And that's why the evil is winning. Because the good people don't do anything. I said this before. We need to start critically thinking. We have to. I want, like I said before, I want food that isn't poison. I want water without fluoride in it. I mean, are these too hard to demand? We're not even fighting for shit like that, I want clean air. I don't want to look up and I see 20 fucking chemtrails above me that you're dropping metals in the air telling me that you're trying to save the planet because of global warming when you're destroying the planet with all these metals, okay? Because you're experimenting, because they want to control the weather. I don't know if you're aware of this. In Chicago, on the stock exchange or some shit, you can buy weather futures. They bet on the weather. It's gambling on the weather because of crops and all this shit. Did you know that you could actually bet on the weather? That's how crazy it is. That's why, they seed the clouds. Like, I could show you stuff. Cloud seeding. Here, let me see if I got anything. So what they do is they seed the clouds with salt. To make it rain, I think. Now, what happens is that salt eventually comes down and it hits the earth. Now, once that shit hits the earth, it destroys the soil. It sucks all the nutrients out of the soil, the water, the trees they're starving. The trees starve eventually, and they die. And this is the shit that they're doing. I mean, this is not a joke. It's real. They're doing this stuff. They're seeding the clouds. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to just Google it. It's easier. Seeding the clouds. Seeding. I mean, they do control the weather. We used to think this was sci-fi shit, but it's not. cloud seeding. Sometimes they use salt, sometimes they use silver iodide, sometimes they use aluminum. They get different effects. So here we go. So there you go. How cloud seeding works. And this is basically, they show you, how it works kind of, but they're not really showing you what the hell they're doing to the planet. That's for sure. So there you go. Now, when they do release silver iodide particles that reach the targeted cloud, okay, make it rain and snow, what do you think happens to silver iodide? Do you think it evaporates? No. It ends up back on the ground, and it goes into the soil, and it destroys the soil. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff. They're destroying the water with all kinds of shit. Now they're killing tons of fish with all kinds of experiments, and they're just doing a lot of nasty shit. And they're making believe they're doing it all for the sake of saving the planet. When it's all bullshit. It's all about manipulating the weather, controlling the weather, making it rain, making it not rain. I mean, they do this stuff. And people just think it's crazy, but it's true. And they're constantly doing it. It's not once in a while. You look up in the sky, there's, my son lives in the middle of nowhere. And he said to me the other day, he goes, Dad, I looked outside, man. It's this chemtrails everywhere. Look, and then they try to tell you it's jet fuel. Look, a commercial airliner goes in one direction and it drops some of its fuel to lighten the load before they land, and that evaporates. A commercial airliner does not go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in all different directions and basically make a square with lines going through it. They don't do that. So that's the guy up there with the plane dropping shit up there. Whatever they're using, whatever they want to manipulate. There's different things they could drop. Vigo, you just go look every day. Go look up in the sky. You'll see them. They're not always out. Sometimes you don't see them. Sometimes you will. It depends where you live. It depends on a lot of different scenarios. Let's just say they want to make a drought in California. That's, people in California will see that for a while. We are dimming the planet. We are at 20%. We get 20% less sunlight than we used to get. And they say over the next 10 years, we may lose another. And they'll tell you that's because they're trying to protect the planet from global warming. The global warming, they're actually causing it with all the shit they're putting up there. Dimming, and they're going to use the excuse that we're doing it. See? Dimming the planet. So let me see if there's anything there I could show you. I mean, everything now they're doing is geoengineering. It's not even chemtrails. The only reason why they say chemtrails is just they want to make you think it's a conspiracy theory. It's really geoengineering. And they'll tell you that global dimming, keeping the planet habitable. This is what they're going to tell you. Like, they're dimming the sun. Here's one. And they're going to tell you they're keeping it habitable. If you dim the sun too much, nothing will grow. All the plant life won't grow. And, they spray all kinds of dust in the air. It's just crazy what's going on. And, they're telling you that they're doing it to save you, and they're really killing you. So they say we have 20% less sunlight now. So there's something, I forgot what it's called, that children get when they don't get a lot of sunlight. And it basically didn't even exist for a long time. There was a time in the planet that it was really high. Children were getting this. I forgot what it was called. But now they say it's the highest it's ever been because they're not getting sunlight. They're not getting vitamin D. And DJ Spin is in the house. So my suggestion to everybody too, buy vitamin D supplements because even if you're out there, oh, Ricketts, yeah, Vigo, man, you're good. I tell you, Vigo, I need you as my co-host. That's what it's called. It's called Ricketts. And they say it's the highest it's ever been right now. They got more cases. They can't believe it, how bad it is. Because we're not getting sunlight. And then on top of that, everybody got locked down in their house. And, nobody really goes out as much as they used to anymore. So you need sunlight. I tell everybody you're going to have to just take vitamin D supplements because you're not going to get enough vitamin D. Even me, myself. No matter what you do, you should try to, like me, I'm right now, I'm in the interim of, I'm going to start working, so I'll be out of the house a lot. But if you don't leave the house a lot, you should at least go outside a half hour a day and just walk around and get some sunlight. You need it. You need some fresh air and things like that. Yep. So how is everybody? There's a lot of stuff going on out there. Yeah, right. Oh, I just heard a video. I was like, another bullshit artist. Yep. Vitamin D also helps with your immune system and digestive health. Another thing you should start doing, though, you got to look into it. With all these metals that are dropping out of these clouds that they're covering with all this geoengineering, a lot of it's aluminum. And this shit's going into your food. It's going into everything. And the aluminum, they're claiming that this is why a lot of people, the Alzheimer's now is the highest it's ever been. Old people now are just aluminum goes to your brain and it does all kinds of bad shit to you. So the best way to get rid of aluminum out of your body is, should I tell you? I don't know if I should tell everybody. Does anybody want to know how to get aluminum out of their body? How to get all these metals? Maybe somebody knows how to do it. Anybody interested in getting metal out of your body? Put one if you want to know. Tell us. Yes. Okay. So if you got money, it's easier, obviously, because you can just do it with the water you drink. You have to go buy a water that's high in silica. There's only a couple of mineral waters out there that have a high silica content. Fiji is one of the best ones, and there's another one. I forgot the name of it, so you could Google it even, and you'll see. Fiji has like 35 milligrams of silica in it. And what silica does, you can buy the pills too. I'm going to just buy the pills because I can't, Fiji water is expensive. I could buy a case here and there, but I don't know if the way I drink water, it would cost me a lot of money. I'd be spending like $10 a day then because I drink a lot of water. So silica aluminum sticks to silica and you urinate it out. You'll flush yourself out. If you got money though, and I just go buy Fiji water and just drink that all day. But if you don't, get the silica supplements. They have them on Amazon. I'm gonna buy there was ones I seen that were made from some kind of fungus, red seaweed or something like that. It was like $12 for the bottle. They were organic and everything on Amazon. I ordered them because you need to flush. I didn't even notice. I was doing a lot of homework into it. Yeah, I like iced tea. But you got to put sugar in it. That's the problem, Vigo. But what does iced tea do? Because I know lemonade has a lot of good benefits too. But silica is the way that you flush your the metals. The metals need something to stick on, I guess. And silica, the metals stick to it. We're talking microscopic here. We're not talking about like chunks of metal in your body. We're talking about dust, that you've inhaled. So, or you've digested from your food. Because even the produce you buy, you can even buy organic produce and there's shit on it, metals. Because, yeah, that farmer grew it organically, but that don't mean that the air didn't come down and, there's metals on your food. So, I would definitely get either silica supplements. Oh, you were just asking, it's my favorite. Well, iced tea would be one of my favorite beverages for sure. I mean, look, I have to be honest. I don't drink it anymore. I used to drink it. Coca-Cola is like one of my most favorite things. I mean, I could sit there all day, get a glass of ice and just keep pouring myself glasses of Coke. It's got to be ice cold. And even better, I'll get a lemon and squeeze a piece of lemon in a Coke. I could drink Coca-Cola all day and night, but it's not good for you. But iced tea is definitely a good drink. I like it. I like it with lemon in it. And I like lemonade, actually. I think maybe lemonade, if I had to pick one drink, fresh lemonade made with real lemons and real cane sugar would probably be my favorite drink. But it's fattening because you got to put sugar. You can't drink lemonade without sugar in it. But lemons have such a value, nutritional value. You ever watch the movies, the old timers? They all be drinking lemonade on their porch. You want a glass of lemonade? And the shit was healthy for you. The old timers were doing stuff that was healthy for us that we didn't even know about. And you got to, like 100 years ago, they didn't have all this shit in the air. We're breathing in so much poison. This is why the cancer rate has doubled over the last 10 years. The cancer rate is through the roof. They're just not giving us the real numbers. Vigo, you made me thirsty. I had to go get a drink. Oh, I got to look into that. Coconut sugar. That sounds good. They had another sugar. I bought it once, but I don't know. I didn't care for it. It was like from the tree or something. It was like some kind of sap. And I tried it, but it wasn't strong, and you had to put a lot in. I'll tell you one thing I like though. Even if it ain't iced tea, regular tea with lemon and honey. I like that. That's pretty good too. But I didn't know they make coconut sugar. That's something new to me. But I like coconut, so I like coconut oil. When I make fish, and I'm not a big fish guy, but I'll eat it once in a while. I use coconut oil, and it comes out good. It makes it a little sweeter. We could turn this into a cooking show. All right, I'll just sit here and wait for some questions. And how you doing? Let me see if I got any videos I could play people. Anything new? Anything good? For some of you, I don't know if you've seen that video, Ants. I'll show you one more time, just to get a message through your brain. Just pay attention to what's going on here in this video. Ready? Here we go. It's only a minute.
But there was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
How about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back!
Does anybody else want to stay?
So you get it? It's not about the food. It's about showing us they're in charge. You got it? Good. You got to pay attention. Always pay attention to what they're doing. You know, I see these little things sometimes, and they make me laugh, you know. I think it's hysterical that they've been doing this shit to us all this time, and we don't know, you know. So let's see what else we got. I'm gonna actually give you a sneak peek of gonna be my new channel. I'm starting another channel. It's just gonna be about TV and movies, because I used to be a TV and a movie holic. Like, I mean, I've literally seen thousands of movies, thousands, and I mean thousands. I've owned maybe 1,000 DVDs. You know, I used to have like Blockbuster Video in my house at one time. I was obsessed with movies and television, binge watching though. I like I'll wait till the whole season's ready of a TV show that I want to watch, and then I watch that whole season in like a day or two. You know, so I've seen a lot of movies. So I'm making a TV movie channel. That's all I'm going to talk about is like movies and TV. And I came up with a name so far, but I ain't done. I want to take suggestions, but right now the name is going to be called Bada Bing TV with Pops. But so like there's movies out there that you probably never seen. And that's going to be my first show. So this is like, I'm going to show you one of the movies. And you've probably never seen it. And maybe out of the people that are in here, maybe one of you have seen it. Here it is. I'll show it to you. And then I'll give you the name.
It was 1764 after the year of our Lord, when it appeared from the forest of Gévaudan. It was feared no mortal could ever free us from the sharp grip of the beast. And then, at the darkest hour, the king sent 2 men.
I like how she goes shh at the end. So it's called Brotherhood of the Wolf. It's gonna be on my show. It's in my top 10. It's an awesome movie. Action, scary. Got a little bit of the old, you know, back in the 1700s. I don't want to tell you what the movie's about, but it's just one of the movies in my top 10. It's going to be, you know, I'm going to have my show. It's going to have the top 10 movies that you probably never seen that you should. I I mean, there's great. They ain't my top 10 movies, but it's just a movie that probably you've not seen yet. Did you see that movie, Vigo, ever? Called Brotherhood of the Wolf? All right. I guess you're not there. Yeah. Did you ever see anybody? Did anybody ever see that movie that's in here? Well, if you didn't, that's good. See? So when I start my new channel, who knows? I may start it tomorrow or the next day. I'll probably send a message out to the people on this channel so they could. Oh, I didn't see it, Vigo. You know what? It was on the delay. I don't know why. Oh yeah, so that's just a movie. I mean, look, I'm gonna on my channel. I have like the top 12 movies that you probably never seen that are really good. You may have seen 2 or 3 of them, and then if you watch them all, you may like half of them you may not. But you know, we all have our taste. But I mixed it up too. I put a little bit of everything in, a little comedy, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of old school, a little bit of up to date, more stuff. So yeah, but that's a movie that I would suggest watching. It's a real good movie. It's even way better than that trailer. That trailer didn't even do that movie justice. So that's a good one. But anyway, we're hitting 2 hours. I really just did this show quick today. I wanted to talk more about the Trojan horse civilian system, but I just wung it, and I thought it was going to be a little easier. But I gotta get more clearer paperwork to explain to you really what's going down, because I gotta break it all down for everybody. So what I'll do is the next time I do the show on that, I'll have more of a breakdown. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming on today. Who knows, I may do a show later because this one ain't long. If not, I'll probably do one tomorrow. And Mimsy Mims is in the house. So anybody got any questions? Because I'm going to just end this. And I just want to thank everybody for coming on. I appreciate you all. All right. Okay, so everyone, let's leave with a little positive note. As always, I like to do. This is something I would love to do. That's one of my fantasies. And let me see if I got anything I could play. Actually, today I'm out of material. I don't want to bore you with the same stuff. So anyway, thanks everyone for coming. And Pops out. Oh, and may the Almighty God bless you and your family. I always like to leave off that way anyway. And Pops out.